Every fire begins with a spark. Some burn out quickly and some burn out slowly. They are concealed in fear, ambition, and in control. In early October in 2025, in North Delhi, neighborhood of Gandhi Vihar, within the lanes of Tirampura, a fire broke out on the fourth floor of a residential building. The blaze appeared to be a tragic accident, but when the investigators uncovered what lay beneath, the story that was built took a dark turn. This is the story of Ramkesh Meena, a 32-year-old aspirant of Union Public Service Examination, and of his partner Amrita Chauhan. Hello and welcome to Final Light. I'm your host Somya Singh, and today's episode has discussion of murder, psychological abuse, strangulation, and blackmail. So if this video is not for you, I totally understand. I will catch you in another video. Also, I would like to highlight a charity. If you or someone you know is facing blackmail or non consensual intimate recordings are threatened to be public or are cyber abused, then you're not alone. You may call the National Cyber Crime Hotline, that is 1930, and reach out to other organizations such as Saheli Trust that helps with blackmail. Although primarily the Saheli Trust is for domestic support, but it has multiple beneficial support that they provide for this type of abuse of for blackmail or for coercion. You can also contact them for any kind of legal help that you need for any kind of abuse that you are facing or somebody you know is facing. So, with that said, let's go ahead with today's case. So, Ramkesh Meena was a 32-year-old aspirant for UPSC, and he was preparing for this exam that is a civil service exam. He was living in Gandhi Vihar, Tirampura, in North Delhi, in a small apartment on the fourth floor. Although, as this case is very complicated, we don't have much detail about Ramkesh. Nobody has come out and told us about his character and how he was. But from what we know, he was very hardworking and he wanted to be someone great. He wanted to be an IPS officer. He wanted to achieve a government job that would help him and his family. In mid 2025, there was a new chapter that began in his life. Amrita Chauhan was a 21-year-old student of forensic science. She met with Ramkesh and they just clicked. They met at an interview in Noida, where I currently live. So they met in Noida for a job interview. They were giving the job interview for the same role and they started hanging out and they fall in love. After that, they were quick to move in and they were feeling all the feelings, all the butterflies that every couple feel in the initial stages. But after that, something changed in Ramkesh. Ramkesh was very much in love with Amrita, but he liked to control her as well. He had taken few intimate videos of them. He started to threaten her. First, it was just like showing her that, yeah, I have made this video, and although it's not clear that she consented or not, but we only have the word of Amrita, and she has usually said that it was non consensual. She didn't consent for him to film this video, and in any which way, if somebody is asking you to delete a video, you should delete a video. So basically, what happened was he filmed this video, showed her. Or somehow Amrita find out, and Amrita asked him multiple times to just delete this video. I don't want this video to get out. Mind you, they just started their relationship in the mid of 2025, so it's very early on, and she didn't wanted somebody that she didn't know that well to have such intimate videos of her. She asked him to delete it, but he started sending her those videos, and he said that if I can send you this video, how easy it would be for me to send it to somebody else. That was the point where Amrita thought that she had no other choice. So these things are happening around the end of September, and Amrita at this point started to create some distance from Ramkesh. She didn't wanted to be with him. She moved back to Muradabad, where she was initially from. She lived in Muradabad with her family. Although at this time, Amrita was disowned by her family, so at that moment, probably she was not living with her family. There is no clear place where we know that where she was living, but she was not living with her family. When she went to her hometown, she talked to her ex, and her ex was Sumit. When she told everything to Sumit, Sumit obviously was angry about this situation. Like, how can somebody do this to a woman? He wanted to talk to Ramkesh to see if he can somehow convince him or intimidate him to give those videos. But Amrita thought that she could go one last time to meet him and see if somehow she can convince or she can steal that hard disk where he had her videos. So on October 5th, she went to Ramkesh's house and she tried to find those discs, and she tried to see if she can somehow find where he kept that hard disk, but she was not able to find that. Later on, when she went to meet Sumit, she was frustrated. She was angry about this. Like, why is he not letting me delete this? Why forcing this? Sumit had a friend. His name was Sandeep, and he was with him as well. So, with both of those men, Amrita created a plan of intimidating Ramkesh. At least that's what she says. So, we still don't know if they went that day for murder or if it was just an intimidation. So, all three of them went to Ramkesh's house and they all wanted answers. So when they went to his house, they tied him with a chair. Amrita demanded for Ramkesh to give that hard disk to her. He was refusing. He was refusing till now. They tried to intimidate him. They tried to beat him up, but nothing was working because he was refusing to give that hard disk to Amrita. I don't understand at this point. Um, they're beating him and they're doing all this to him, and still he's not letting that hard disk go. What kind of control, what psychology is this? Like, he's not letting it go. She did try multiple times, but he was just never ready to let those videos go. And this is heartbreaking. Like, if he would have just for once, like, gave those images away, he would have his life. And not to say that this murder was justified, because it wasn't. You can't murder somebody because they have your videos. It's illegal, and this should not be a thing where somebody threatens somebody with a photograph, with a nude photograph or a nude video. But at the same time, you can't murder somebody for having those videos. The right step would be to go to a police, file an FIR. But she didn't do that. She never did that. This is heartbreaking because what she was a victim before she did this, and now nobody has a sympathy for her. If she would have gone through right steps and this murder wouldn't have happened, then he would have been the person who had done a crime. But now she is the person who is doing a crime. So this is very heartbreaking, and I don't understand the psychology of Ramkesh. Like, at the last moment, you know that they are getting frustrated. By the second, you can lose your life, but till the end, you're not giving those videos away. And there are some things in that hard disk which I will get to later on, but I don't think that that was the reason why he was not giving that hard disk. So at some point, this escalated and Sumit lost his calm. He got a phone charger and he strangled Ramkesh to that. At the last moment as well, he was asking for those hard disk, but Ramkesh didn't give that to him. Everybody in this case is awful. Nobody is okay mentally, I believe. I'm really sorry. And also, if you don't know, strangulation takes a little while. It's not something that happens in 30 seconds. It usually it depends on people and the force that you apply, but it can take up to 2 to 3 minutes. So all three of them were in that same room. Amrita and Sandeep both were watching Sumit strangle Ramkesh. They did nothing. N- Not a single person did anything. If the motive was just to intimidate somebody, then you don't go and strangle them. You intimidate those people and then you come home. You don't do this. So after that, they lay down Ramkesh on the floor, his dead body, and they poured cooking oil, ghee, and alcohol on him. Every flammable thing that they can think of that they had in that room, they poured everything on him. Sumit then dragged the kitchen LPG cylinder and he put that next to Ramkesh's body. He opened the regulator knob. The gas started filling the room. And mind you, Sumit and Sandeep both are in distribution. So, Sumit, who was the ex boyfriend of Amrita, he was the manager in LPG in Muradabad, and Sandeep was a distributor. So they both had the knowledge of LPG. They started this whole illusion of the gas cylinder blasting, and that was something that created a large fire, and that's how Ramkesh died. At this moment, they have opened that regulator knob a little so the gas started filling little by little. At this moment, Sandeep has already been gone after the murder. after the strangulation, after the pouring of those liquids. He got out of the scene, but Amrita and Sumit was still there. They started creating an illusion that this was an accidental fire. The first thing that they did after Sandeep was out of that building, they opened the gas regulator knob, and slowly the gas started filling. And the second thing that Amrita was doing was she was cutting the net from the door. So it was a metal door, but um I will show you a picture on YouTube. There was like a slight metal wire on the top so that the air can flow during summer. What she did was she just cut that metal wire a little so that she can close the flat from inside so that it would look accidental. And it did for the longest time. It really did. Initially, the police registered this case as an accidental fire, negligence, or a blast due to cylinder leak or AC malfunction. But then Ramkesh family started to ask some questions. They started to ask some questions regarding the gate and the manner of which the body was found, and something didn't add up for them. So after this, and the police luckily agreed with them. Forensic team examined the scene, and they also find that the burn pattern was not matching with gas leak or gas blast or with AC malfunction. For the fire as well, they suggested that an accelerant like uh, alcohol, ghee, or cooking oil was used to start the fire. Door was slightly damaged due to that wire that Amrita cut out. It was just below the lock of the door. Somebody could have locked the door from outside, and that was very suspicious to Ramkesh's family as well as to the police. The biggest evidence that the police found was the CCTV footage in which Amrita, Sandeep, and Sumit, all three of them, were seen entering wearing a mask to conceal their identity. After that, the police started investigating Amrita. They took her phone, they saw the messages, they saw the details, and after that, the story started revealing itself. Police also found that Amrita was a forensic science student as well as that she loved to watch true crime documentaries and true crime shows. So basically, we all do that, and there are studies about it that women mostly like to watch true crime documentaries because usually we are the targets. So it's something that is instinctual, and we want to learn how to avoid it. So that's the main reason. I believe it's not that crazy, but media usually creates a fuss about it. So that's what that is. But in my opinion, I don't think it's that crazy. That she watches true crime documentary or true crime channels. We all do that. I do it regularly, like too much. She's not guilty on basis of that, but what she has done is something that nobody who is listening to this video or who watches true crime would do. Like, if somebody watches true crime, it doesn't make you a murderer. Many people are fascinated by true crime, but I believe it's not that serious. Like if you watch true crime, then it's not gonna make you a murderer. But it's just that she watches true crime and she wanted to do this horrible murder, and that shines a bad light to everybody. So basically, they started that fire, and before they did that, they took two laptops, a hard disk, and a luggage bag in which he had Sumit had few of his Ramkesh clothes and some other miscellaneous things. They fled the flat around 2:57 a.m. and this took around 30 minutes. And in these 30 minutes, Ramkesh has lost his life. It's horrible that these people are responsible for his death and what they did to Ramkesh and his body. This was never the answer. What they did, it could never be the answer. You have to go to authority, even if you don't believe that they can do much, because that's true. Women, they don't usually get the support from the police that they need about these cases, but still, this was not the answer. And if any young woman who is watching this video, I just like to say one thing. Many people is so scared about losing their photos or anything like that. I know and I totally understand. It's very personal and it's very hard. I don't know if I'm getting older and that's why I feel this way, but I feel that okay, release them to the world. I don't give a fuck. Because this I can't, like, this is so fucked up. You can't control me. You can't take my autonomy. You don't have that power. When we are teenager, everything is so huge. Every little thing is so huge. It doesn't matter. Right people will come in your life and they will accept you no matter what. Nobody is gonna care. Seriously, nobody will. And you have to love yourself enough to not harm yourself or somebody other like she did. So please be careful. Don't share anything because it's scary, especially if you're a teenager or if you're in your early 20s. It's hard for people, especially in India where there is so much stigma. And thankfully, nothing like this has happened to me, but I still had my family who were so supportive in everything, in every situation. If somebody was harassing me or anything like that, I understand and I know that not everybody gets that. Not every parent is like that, and some people still in India thinks that it's woman's fault. My heart breaks for you if you're going through this, and there are many organizations who can help you. So please take their help and volunteer in those charities and donate if you can, because it is very important. And as women, we should always help other women. So, coming back to the video, after they took Ramkesh laptop and hard disk and the luggage, they fled his apartment. Few moments later, the LPG exploded and the room ignited in fire. The reason of the fire was obviously to destroy evidence. During the initial investigation, police considered that it could be an accidental gas leak or even a AC explosion. The front panel of the AC was damaged. They thought that it could be a AC compressor explosion, but the patterns didn't fit. The burn pattern and the intensity of the fire did not match. And then on October 18th, the police arrested Amrita just 12 days after the murder. So on 6th of October 2025, there was the blast and the explosion and the murder. And on the 18th, police arrested Amrita. And after that, they arrested Sumit Kashyap on 21st October and then Sandeep on 23rd October. All three of them confessed during the interrogation. All three of them confessed during the interrogation, and all three of them were arrested on 29th October 2025. The hard disk was analyzed, and that was to confirm if Amrita's video was really in that hard disk or was it something else. So they analyzed that hard disk and they found 15 other women and their videos in that hard disk. All of them were his ex, and none of them had filed an FIR. And the reason could be because they didn't know, or the reason could be that they were scared. And this is such a sad case because if they just reported him and if they would have found this hard disk, none of this would have happened. But after this murder, they ruined their own life, and that's what hard about this case. Like none of this would have happened if they have filed an FIR or if they have tried to get help some other way. They tried this as a solution, and now all three of them are in jail. The police have included a supplementary charge sheet, and it is in relation to the CCTV footage. They have recreated walking samples to strengthen their cases. Maybe it could be related to their body language or how they were going to his flat, like were they carrying something or not. So everything is still so new, and no trial dates have come out yet, but I will keep you updated, and if something big happens I can make a video again regarding this as well. So let's see um what happens. But that is it from my end, and I hope you found this video helpful and informational. Thank you for watching The Final Light. I'm your host Somya Singh, and I hope you liked today's video. If you liked, please share this video to your friends who you think are interested in true crime, and like this video, subscribe, and comment. I will see you in another episode. Until then, stay safe, stay aware, and remember, every silence hides a story.